Alright, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Bonus Point. Today we have a pretty long one. As usual, episode on a Tuesday. Gonna just be the recap of the last game week. Quick thing to mention before we actually go straight into this is that I wasn't at home whole weekend. I was kind of busy, so I didn't really get to watch any of the games live. I watched the highlights. I tried to read about what people said about the games, ask some friends and whatnot. I tried to get the best information from all there, but just keep in mind that what we're going to be talking about today is stuff that I didn't actually get to see live. I just, once again, talk to some friends and watch the highlights of the games and whatnot. I tried to watch the extended highlights, so at least, it was more than just the goals. But yeah, aside from that, for those who are involved in RPM, we actually have some prizes that was given out over Game Week 10. We have the Game Week 10 winner and we have the monthly winner for October. So just stay in tune on Instagram to see who actually won those. And if you see your name, big congrats. And finally, as I speak right now, the UCL is actually going on, Champions League, as you all call it. Make sure and try to watch the games. If you don't watch the games, that's okay. But just try to stay aware of what's going on, who in form, who's starting, who's on the bench. For certain things like Chelsea and maybe Manchester City as well, they'll want to see what's the rotation like during the week, so that they can kind of predict who can play this weekend, and also to look out for injuries and for form as well. So yeah, the main takeaway from there is don't make any hasty decisions when it comes to your transfers. Try to save a transfer until at least European football finish this week. Alright, okay, let's just get straight into the recap. So first of all, the first kickoff was between Leicester and Arsenal, and as we know, Arsenal managed to win that game 2-0. Leicester's defense, we've been talking about it on this channel, it's pretty poor. That could be a defensive target when teams are going up against them. They seem to be conceding goals almost every week now. Yeah, it's just not looking too good in the back there. Smith Rowe is on serious form. He scored again. So for those who went for Smith Rowe over Saka, big congrats. But even if you went for Saka, it's not even that much of a disappointment because he managed to assist the goal for Gabriel. So yeah, Saka came out with points, Smith Rowe came out with points, and for the actual attackers, the strikers, Orba didn't actually come out with anything on the day. But that's okay. Ramsdale is starting to look like the Emi Martinez of last season. A few people are already talking about that. In terms of not his ability, but just in terms of FPL, he seems to be getting a lot more clean sheets than we expected. And it seems like when he gets a clean sheet, he also brings in some save points and some bonus points along with that as well. He got 10 points over the weekend, which is fantastic. He made 8 saves, got 2 bonus points, made a brilliant save from a free kick. I'm not sure if you all actually got to see that or not, but if you didn't, definitely go back and watch it. And for a guy that came in at 4.5 million playing for Arsenal, I think it's fantastic value right now. Ramsdale definitely one to have. Burnley versus Brentford. I think Burnley showed that this Brentford defense could be breached at times. I think this kind of comes down to the unorthodox style of Burnley in terms of Premier League football. And perhaps Brentford just wasn't sure how to deal with the likes of Chris Wood up there. And then Max Cornet, someone that we should definitely be looking at. That comes in at 6.0 and is scoring almost every week right now for Burnley and has some decent fixtures coming up as well. So yeah, maybe Max Cornet is someone that we could jump on from early. In terms of Burnley though, in terms of Brentford, I don't think this changes much. They have some really, really good fixtures coming up. So if you had Mbomo or if you had Ivan Toney, I'll definitely say to continue with those players. Keep them. They have really good fixtures coming up. The only concern is that Brian Mbomo did not start on the day. Not sure if he was injured or not. For whatever reason, he was left out of the squad, but I'm pretty sure he should be back to playing football this weekend again. His numbers have been fantastic, so if you have him, I'll definitely say go ahead and keep him. I think it's only a matter of time until he scores some goals. Moving on into Liverpool versus Brighton. Liverpool started off so strong. Mohamed Salah started with an assist in the first 10 minutes. And yeah, it was looking like for those who captain Salah, like it was going to be a brilliant day once again. But Salah did show that he was human because he did not score against Brighton. And the fact that we're talking about when he doesn't score as being an anomaly just shows you the type of season that he's having this season. In terms of Salah going forward, look, that means nothing. Continue to captain the guy, continue to include him in your squad. He is having a fantastic season, and even on the days that he doesn't score, it seems that he can assist. So yeah, just something to keep in mind there. Brighton, however, did turn the game around in the second half and came back to equalize. The game finished 2-2. In terms of Brighton, though, I don't really think that means anything. I don't think that Brighton is a team that we should target right now for the fixtures that's coming up, for the fact that their attackers just don't seem to score very much, and they haven't been keeping much clean sheets recently either. So yeah, for the moment, Brighton is a team to avoid, I would say. The only guy that I would probably look at is Tariq Lamptey. When he does eventually, because I think it's an eventuality, lock down that starting position once again, I think he's going to be a good one to go ahead and get. We already know a lot about him, so we understand his ability in the league. And yeah, as long as he starts back starting games week in, week out, I think he could be a good one to go ahead and get. Moving on to Manchester City versus Crystal Palace. I don't think that anyone expected the game to go this way. But Palace seems to just be a difficult fixture for Manchester City, especially Palace at the Etihad. It seems to just be a difficult one for City. They're always tripping on Palace. What does this mean for Manchester City players? Absolutely nothing. City is still probably the most attacking team in the league. Okay, it's between them and Liverpool, but they just seem to be scoring at will right now. And yeah, if you have Manchester City players, the regular ones like Foden, Cancelo, even Grealish, I think those are guys that you could go ahead and continue to include in the team. I'm not going to be worried about them for the upcoming fixtures. I know that they have, over the next 3 games, they have 2 difficult ones in terms of FPL. I don't really care about these fixtures, to be honest. I think that Manchester City should still be able to score in these games. The next game is against United. United's defense is not all that. I think City should be okay in the next couple of games, and if you have their players, I'd definitely stick with them. Crystal Palace, on the other hand, is actually looking better and better every week. Vieira seems to be finding his form and finding his rhythm a little bit, and then we have players like Conor Gallagher and Odsonne Edouard that seem to be doing pretty good. I know Edouard is a name that we've been hearing a lot on this channel, at least. Maybe I didn't talk about Gallagher enough, but he is another baller. These 2 guys coming at pretty good price points, so they could be 2 guys to look at. And with the upcoming fixtures that Palace have, they're okay. They look good enough. So maybe Conor Gallagher could be one to go ahead and include in the team. Maybe Edouard as well. Newcastle versus Chelsea. I think this game went exactly as planned. Goals coming again from the outside backs. Reece James with a brace. Almost cost just now. But Reece James with a brace. Chilwell could not score again on the day, but that's fine. He scored in the last 3 games and he kept another clean sheet today, so I think that's fine. The money is definitely in the fullbacks for Chelsea. Chilwell, Reece James, those should be the ones that you're targeting. And then if you need to get a centre back, I think Rudiger is probably the best one to go ahead and get, because he just seems to be rotation proof on that left hand side. Apart from the attackers, moving on to the attackers, I should say, Mason Mount was injured, which is just unfortunate that he had to miss out after scoring a hat-trick. That's just too bad for those who went out and bring him in. Feel for you, that's just too bad. Havertz looked okay on the day. I think he looked better than he did in the last game, and hopefully it's just a little bit that he keeps building, and manages to score in the next game week. That'll be fantastic. But yeah, I think the game went just the plan for Chelsea. I don't think we really learned anything new from this game. Chilwell and Reece James are the ones to target. Moving on to Watford versus Southampton. Livramento is an absolute boss, but I wouldn't target anyone else from either of these teams. I think Southampton has some decent games coming up. It's going to be great for Livramento, but I won't really suggest going for anyone else from the Southampton team. And then Watford just have probably the hardest run of fixtures that they're ever going to have in the Premier League. So if you still have Sarr, I think that's one to get rid of. Not sure who else you could possibly have from Watford, but yeah, Watford players definitely aren't ones to hold right now. That game, from what the highlights showed, seemed to be a little bit boring. Che Adams scored around the 20th minute, I think, and then that was just it for the rest of the game. But Livramento, wow, that guy, to think that he came in at 4.0 and is keeping clean sheet after clean sheet and scoring goals and making assists and winning penalties, it's ridiculous for that price point. He's definitely someone to include in the team. Borderline essential at the moment, I'd say. Tottenham versus Manchester United. Didn't expect United to go ahead and slap Tottenham like this, and then with that happening, they went ahead and fire Nuno, and now Conte coming in. We're going to talk a little bit more about that on Thursday, what that means for Tottenham going forward. But on the day, Tottenham did not look good at all. Ronaldo finally back to doing the deadly, and Rashford managed to sub one and got himself a goal too. I think when Rashford starts back starting in this team regularly, he's going to be very hard to not include in our teams. I'm going to say it from now, make some room for Rashford, because when he comes back, and when you see around game week 12, game week 13, when United fixtures get easy again, and Rashford is starting every single week, it's going to be real difficult to not have that guy. So make some room in the budget for Rashford from now. You'll hear me talking about it again come game week 12 and 13 when he continues to score. I hope. But yeah, Ronaldo managed to score again. For those who still have him by now, congratulations. For those who still have Bruno Fernandes, congratulations. What does that mean for these players? Look, Ronaldo is going to continue to score goals, as I have said many times on this channel, but it's just with the games that coming up, I don't think it's going to be as easy for him to score as, say, game week 12, 13 onward. So if you want to keep him, at this point, you're already going into game week 11, so you're pretty close to that point. You might as well keep him at this point. But he's not someone that I'll go and buy like right now, if that makes sense, okay? Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Norwich versus Leeds. These are two teams that are just not looking too good right now. Norwich, probably on course for one of the worst finishes ever in the Premier League. Can't win a game at the moment. And Leeds just hit by so much injuries that they're struggling with basically starting the bench squad. That being said though, Rafinha is doing excellent for himself. For a guy that is surrounded by players that don't usually start with him, I think he's doing excellent. He's scoring almost every game at the moment. He scored again on the day. He was even supposed to be injured. I don't know how the guy is this fit, that it seems like anytime he's supposed to be injured, he just comes back and starts and plays 90. The guy is so fit. I may have taken a L here because I actually transferred him out, thinking that he wasn't going to start. But yeah, I was wrong, because he started, scored, and got some bonus. Absolute baller. It's just that Leeds are going into some more difficult games now. You know, Tottenham is coming up. Tottenham under Conte, I should say, is coming up. And a few other kind of mid-table teams that could be difficult for them, like Wolves and whatnot, are coming up. So in terms of Leeds players, I personally don't think that we should be bringing in Leeds players at this point. Rafinha might be the only one to keep. The other ones, maybe it's time to get rid of them. And then Norwich, you're the next expect me to tell you to get anybody from Norwich, right? So just gonna move on there. Aston Villa versus West Ham. Even before Aston Villa got a red card, it wasn't looking too good for them. West Ham seemed to be creating chances at will, as they do these days. And yeah, scored 4 goals on the day. Ollie Watkins managed to score a goal. It's another blank for Danny Ings though. Doesn't seem to look like Danny Ings is the transfer that we expected him to be. I thought he was gonna go here and again bang a lot of goals, but now he's turning out. So at the moment, Aston Villa on a whole are just not looking that good. I don't think they're gonna get relegated. I don't think they look that bad, but they just don't seem like a team we want to target at the moment. The only one that I would really look at from this team is Leon Bailey, and I believe he started on the day. I could double check that if anything, but I think Bailey could be a really good one going forward, especially when Aston Villa's games turn for the better. I think Bailey could be a pretty good one to have, but I won't really be looking at anyone else from this team. West Ham, on the other hand, scored 4 goals. But the goals came from unlikely sources. We're talking Declan Rice and company scored. Antonio did not even get a goal or an assist on the day, despite playing the whole game. So that's just a little bit unlucky for Antonio, I would have to say. If you still own him, I think keep him, because the games are going to turn around game week 14 and whatnot. At this point, you might as well just keep him. And don't be too disappointed when he doesn't score in the bigger games. I understand that 4 goals were scored here, but the man can't go on and score every single game week, alright? So let's just keep our faith with Antonio. Keep him if you have him. I think he's going to be good for the future. And then finally, Wolves versus Everton. Honestly, Everton did not look too good on the day. They've been struggling defensively under Rafa Benitez. Not sure what that's about. I think it's definitely down to the fact that they haven't had their starting team for a long time now, like all 11 starters. They've suffered a lot of injuries, as they do every single season. A few people are starting to come back now. I think Digne is making his way back. He didn't start last game, but he's on his way back. Richarlison is already back. Calvert-Lewin should be back, they're saying, after the international break. Maybe even before, who knows. So yeah, they slowly coming back to full strength, but for now, it's just not looking too good for Everton. Wolves, on the other hand, seem to be getting better every single game week. Jimenez, for a guy that's I've been saying is looking more like an assist threat rather than an actual goal scorer this season. The best chances fell to him on the day. He managed to score early on in the game. Then he hit the post in the second half, and then there was a penalty that was given, and then it was actually like overturned, and it turned out to be a free kick instead. But had him not hit the post and scored, maybe got a penalty rather than having that penalty overturned. Looking at a hat trick for Jimenez on the day, I think he played really well as well. The combo between him and Huang seems to be really good. They set up each other a lot. Huang, just to segue into him now, was really electric on the day, as he seems to be every single day now. It's just a little bit unlucky that I think he did not get an assist, because he gave a really good one to Trincao. Trincao could not score. I think he may have tried to assist Jimenez as well when Jimenez hit the post. It was either him or Semedo. Not sure which one of them put the cross in. But the overall result is that Huang is looking really good, really electric. I think he might score more goals than Jimenez this season. Honestly do. I think he might even finish with more points than Jimenez this season. In terms of being nailed now, I don't see them rotating Huang anymore. The guy is fit. I know that from previous seasons. And again, the best way to describe this guy is electric. When he gets the ball, he really wants to do something with it. He's a pretty confident dribbler. He's a good finisher as well. So that guy is definitely someone to look out for. I may even replace Jimenez with Huang for the upcoming games, just to save some money. Also because I think Huang might outscore him. So yeah, that's just something to pay attention to. And we'll talk more about that on Thursday when we talk about the captains and when we talk about some possible transfers to make. But for now, go ahead and enjoy the Champions League. Definitely watch it, because again, you learn a lot about what could happen in the Prem from the Champions League. And until Tuesday, have a good week. Bye.